Hello and welcome to this sixth episode of our Road to 1 Billion Challenge. I'm the Tycoon Engineer, and in this episode we're going to be continuing our campaign to connect all our towns and industries on this map with only road vehicles. That's the rule. We're only using road vehicles. So we're going to hit play here. We're still in the horse and cart ages. 1869. We move forward 19 years. I've had to increase the date speed to a half. I like to keep it slow. I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit nostalgic. I like the old vehicles, and I like the clippity-cloppity horses, and I like the steam trains, so I always have my date speed on a bit lower, because I find that if you have it on one, you get through the technology really quickly, and before you know it, you're in Shinkansen territory, and everything's flying around at 300 kilometers an hour. So we are still in horse and cart age, so that presents its own challenge because each horse and cart has only got a capacity of 4, and that is caused the problem. We have a problem of making money because we have not been making as much money as we were. We're struggling to break above that 3 million mark because some of our lines became completely log jammed in the last episode. We had our most profitable lines backed up because I was too greedy and made too many vehicles for them, and they became completely log jammed. We have some lines which I think maybe I've been too greedy on, but I think look at this. The Market Bosworth line. Finances look really poor in terms of incomes, but it's chock full of stuff. So I do want to see what these vehicles are doing because I feel like this should be more profitable. There's plenty on there. Honiton Steel as well. There's plenty. There's not much empty capacity on there. It makes sense with these two lines. They've got nothing on them. Ongar Crude and Chertsey Goods. But Honiton Steel has got 98 steel on it. So, you know, what is happening with these vehicles? So we'll head over to this one on the Honiton Steel line. And how far are they away? Are they coming down to here? Oh, that's Wolverton Plastics. Honiton Steel is... Where does it go? Oh, it's down here. It is a long trip. Honiton Steel. We did have a traffic jam a lot earlier with this one. That's for Wolverton Plastics. This is Honiton Steel. We've got no income in the last 1, 2, 3 periods. So maybe it's just a case of phasing, really. And as they spread out, they will start to make money. And I look at this line. Yeah. You think with the number of vehicles on it, that we would be making more money more consistently. So let's look at this one car. What's the situation? It's a long round trip. It makes 14k each time it pulls in. And it seems to take about 12,000 worth. Well, I think part of the problem is this vehicle is deadheading in the backwards direction up to Honiton Steel. And if we look at the line, remind myself where this line goes. It goes to a waypoint. Picks up that steel, but it's not taking any coal along the way. Maybe that would help. To make steel, you do need 2 coal. So maybe that's an option. We are not... no, the coal line, excuse me, this coal line is bringing us the steel to this station. So this coal line is very profitable. Honiton Steel is not so, but if we switch that around, then that line wouldn't be. So problem solved, but it doesn't really help us. We still have not breached that 3 million mark in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 periods. So we need to do something about that because our money has started to slow down. We've got a fair old bit of material waiting on here. Carnforth secondary crude is taking oil to Carnforth East. We are getting that refined, and that is being transported. So let's have a look around the map. Where else could we start to transport materials in a good way? I feel like we need another really profitable line where we're transporting in both directions. I don't think we can afford at this point to invest in. We've only got 1 million left on the old loan sheet to go with. And so if we mess this up, it could be game over, folks. It really could be game over. So we want to find some untapped potential on our map. So we need to be able to transport things back and forth, like for instance, ore to the steel and steel to the steel could go in that direction to this goods factory. That is an option, but we also need to get coal there because we're not going to produce any goods without that, and it's going to be a 1-to-2 ratio. With the ore, we need to take 2 ore to get 1 steel, so that's not ideal. Now, machines require 1 plank and 1 steel, and we have planks here. We could take, again, it's a 2-to-1 there. Planks to here. And then what would we bring back, though? Maybe some wood. We're not using this tooling factory. Now, tools could go in this direction because that could connect into the Market Bosworth setup that we have going towards... going back down towards our central hub. So where the vehicles that are coming in this direction towards there, are they generally loaded? Where are they all? They're all going that direction. Are they carrying any materials? Market Bosworth goods. This is the line we want. Let's have a look. Market Bosworth goods is... I'm not sure what he's doing. So he's left with 4 bricks. Here, Market Bosworth goods, he's bringing up some crude oil. And there is quite a lot of material waiting for that one. So maybe that's not going to help us at this point. I'm going to increase his platform length because we've got a lot of material waiting on the Market Bosworth goods, and there's a lot of vehicles heading in that general direction. So, you know, taking it back down that line, it seems like we've already got materials there. We've got another tools factory here, though. We have got a plank factory there. So we could bring planks this way, take tools down here, collect up some timber on the way, bring it back. That could work. We could even... yeah, we could take planks from there to there, bring those tools into this hub here, and then we can bring those 2 lumber mills, can take the lumber to there, or this lumber mill can be picked up from this one, and we can match that with this one. I think we have found what we're going to do. Now, we do thankfully have a little bit of money, and we are going to need a little bit of money. So we're going to start off with quite small 10-meter length platforms. We want to spend as little, I'm really low on money, as little money as possible doing these, and I am going to max out my loan at this point. We've got to go for this, guys. We have to get this one going. So we need a depot to be able to pick up. So we'll go the 1 platform and pick it up logs from here for 50, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, there was a 1 there. Get the 1 back. Yeah, we go. We also need to pick up and drop off here at this stop here. I'm going to put it there because I don't want to turn down the lane. So we can pick up logs, head there, pick up planks, head there, pick up tools, and come all the way back down to this depot. So that is all of the stations that we need as a minimum. We will pop try and find a cheap place to pop a little depot down, and we will get this moving as soon as we can, because we are starting to run low on money and mistakes have been made, and we need to repent and make up for those. So taking logs to here, picking up planks and taking them to here, bringing back those tools to here, and round we go. So when we get to Wolverton Green Laser West, we want to be, let's say we want full load of the timber. We're going to go to Honiton Exchange, and I'm just going to start to put down exactly what I want. I want you to unload the timber, and I want you to pick up the logs. Then we come into Carnforth West, where we are going to unload our planks, and we are going to load our tools. We are only going to load in logs here, and when we get to Wolverton Cargo Hub, we are going to load nothing. We are going to unload our tools. So that makes sense. I think that's going to work. So they're off. They're all typically in the wrong direction. I don't know why they often start not going to the depot that you put first, which makes very little sense to me. We need to name this line. So this is going to be our Wolverton West logs, because we are going to need an east logs or a south logs, whichever direction that we are looking at very, very soon. Let's flip that around and change the direction, because you need to go get some logs, guys. This is where the whole chain relies on you getting logs, and if you're not getting logs, you know, we've got a problem. So we want to match this line, and the rate of this line currently is 10. It's only 10, so we're going to match that with a single platform on this side, and we are going to use this depot, and we only need 10, so let's try with 5 vehicles for now, because they've got to do less traveling on this new line. And all you're going to do is go and drop off at Honiton Exchange. So this is the annex logs, so it's the Wolverton annex logs, and you're purely doing that. Hopefully this won't cost us too much in loggage, because we'll be deadheading back from there. We won't be bringing any planks in this direction on that line. We still have some vehicles. These are the annex log vehicles. We've got vehicles going with why are you going to the cargo hub? Are you going west? Go west. Go west. Right, we need to go west. Go west. Go west. Go west. Go west. Go west. Oh man, I've got mind of their own sometimes. These are fine. These seem to be heading to the logs place, which is what we want. We want to start getting logs into here. Those logs are going to get turned into planks, and then we are going to be moving down here and making some tools, which is what we want. Those tools will then come into here and be ready to go. On which line will they go on? Oh, is it the plastics line? No. After you play this for a while, you really forget which lines you're doing. This must be the cargo refined. It is. I'm going to change the colour of this. Brown is difficult to see. It's quite a crucial line. Let's give it pink. Nice bright pink. You see, that is the line that is not currently making money. And vehicles heading in this direction are taking goods down. But there is nothing currently waiting on this line. So maybe there is some capacity in some potential there. We got a fair old bit of logs. This yard is absolutely desperate to cut some trees down. They are going at it like Billy O. I could probably afford a little loan out to extend that platform just a little bit, increase the capacity in the yard, and also allow more vehicles to load up and deload and avoid a traffic jam there. So I'm going to speed up the game a bit. We want to see how this pans out. We are paying more in loan fees with the extra loan we took out, so we could do with finding another profitable opportunity. Because after all, we're heading to 1 million, and at this rate, we will literally never get there. So Jarrow is an interesting place. We've not connected Jarrow into anywhere. It requires bread and machines. We do have Carnforth. Now we could connect a direct line to Jarrow, which would be interesting. But maybe that's not the profitable direction we want to go in. But Jarrow needs to grow. It's a small place by the looks of 75 residents. Maybe we could do with a little connection to Market Bosworth that would increase the growth potential of this town. So do we have a depot there? We can start to connect some of these in. Yeah, passenger lines, if we keep it nice and, you know, nice and sensible, we may be able to make some money off these lines, because you do get traffic going both ways. So we do need for this a passenger platform, and I'm going to put it in the residential area. And we'll go back to that line we just made. Where is it? This one. So we've got this passenger line which is going from Market Bosworth to Jarrow. So that will connect up, and that will help Market Bosworth to grow with a number of transport connections, and it will also help Jarrow to grow. And you can see there's already people waiting at their station. The one transport connection is not yet having effect, but we will see that build over time. Where else? Let's connect some passenger places. Let's do that. We're going to have to put the odd vehicle on there. It is going to help these places grow, and that is going to increase demand in the future, which will help us to do that. So we'll go into land use. I like to put them in residential areas. To be honest, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but we can easily connect now High Wycombe, the good people of High Wycombe, to the good people of Ongar. So let's do that. We need a road depot here, passenger stagecoach on a new line. And see, once you made a line, this is why I like to just do the one vehicle, because what's great about that is it's already set up then. So all you've got to do then is add more vehicles to what you're doing. Now I can't remember the name of the town. That was High Wycombe. High Wycombe to Ongar. So again, that's just going to increase those transport connections for Ongar. So it's already got 7, it's got 10. They're connecting in there, but that is also going to increase those for High Wycombe as well, which has been through some population decline and increase. So maybe these passenger connections will have an impact with very little relative cost to us. So we'll whiz through this bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a route on every single one of these towns, and I'll probably speed up this video a bit because this is probably the most boring part of this series. So we'll see. I'll see you in a minute. We'll whiz through, and then we'll have all of these done. Okay, so I've now been through every town, I think, and connected it to another town, which is great. So you can see in the town menu, if you come over here and you look the public transport, you'll see that almost all of them now have a number. Harworth and Burcoats is the only town now currently that's not showing anything. Nobody's actually wanting to travel to Jarrow from Harworth. Is that because it's too long a journey? Yes, it is. It is going an absolutely mammoth way. So that, as a mode of transport, is not working. So we need to fix that. The other little niggly thing that really bothered me just then, as I saw Market Bosworth was written with a lowercase m at the start there. So I'm going to change that. And now I'm on to the important stuff of fixing this road. So we've crossed the bridge here, which we need to do, but we need to connect the two towns on a better road. So we've still got, well, we are accumulating money, so we may well be able to pay. We want a country road. We may well be able to pay some of that back. I don't like the looks of. See, in the UK you don't see that many kind of big cuttings and things like this. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to skirt around the coast. I want to make a nice coastal path, or I should say riverside path, that will hopefully keep the costs lower, but also keep the earthworks less invasive on the on what we're trying to do. So I'm going to keep following this round here, trying to follow the contour and the line, the meandering line of the road. And once we get to this coal mine over here, we should have a new route for that piece of public transport, which would be good for the residents of the town. So we'll connect that in there, and that should mean that that route now to Jarrow, which is the only transport they've got there, is now working, and we have some passengers there. So we shall see if that line starts to pick up. We've also got lots and lots of lines. Oh, one of the things that was interesting that happened when you were watching me whiz by was that we got some new vehicles. So we now have the option, let's find a vehicle depot. We now have the option when we buy, for passenger we have a stagecoach, or we have le obéissant, which is a French word I find difficult to pronounce, but it's come out in the last year. It has the same speed. It is steam powered, so we lose the clippity-cloppity horses, which is interesting. Interesting that 2 horses equates to 2.7 horsepower, interestingly, on the old horse wagon. But this has a greater horsepower, so deal with any gradients better. It does have higher emissions, higher weight, but crucially it has a 25% increase in capacity. So even though the speed is the same and the maintenance cost is, well, again, approximately 25% higher when you really think about it. We're paying for an extra person, but we are paying that by an extra, what's that, $750, $800 per year. So it doesn't come without a cost. So, but what we can do now is we can look at our most profitable passenger lines, which, if we look at our High Wycombe to Market Bosworth, that is making a good amount of money, and our cargo is full, so we can manage the vehicles on this line. We can look to replace all of these vehicles for a mere 102,000 with some brand new vehicles, which will make their condition very good, increase their capacity, and hopefully increase the profitability. And with the increasing power of the vehicles, I'm hoping they do better over the gradients, and we'll get there faster, which again will make us more money. Any other passenger lines that are making us some good money? Not really. So, you know, we've got at least one vehicle tested. Stockton-on-Tees to Berkhamsted has got 5 passengers on it, which is good, and has already got 12 people waiting at Berkhamsted, and it has 5 people waiting there. And the vehicle on this line is this little guy. So we've finally got some combustion, some engine into our road network, which is quite exciting actually. I mean, I do miss the horses. I've got to say, the horses have that nice, janky little look about them. But, you know, there's something really nice about this. It's a proper bus. This is a bus. We have a bus. We are in the bus age, which is what we really want with a road vehicle. The detail on this is beautiful. Look at that suspension, the leaf spring suspension on the side of the vehicle, the curtains, the steam engine rooting along 11 miles an hour. It's a beautiful thing. I love these vehicles. And we need more of them, and we need more of them on this line. I think we can have more of them on this line because we have got ample passengers. So I think we can probably double this line. I know I'm being a bit cautious. We could maybe triple it. I think we could triple it. I've quadrupled it. Oh well, I hope that doesn't come back to bite me, but you know, that's a profitable line, and we could do that. We can also look at the High Wycombe to Market Bosworth line because that is profitable. And if I look at the stations involved, Market Bosworth Main Road Station has 57 passengers, and at the other end of the line we have 52 passengers. So there is a massive demand for there. We've only got the rate of 12, so I think we could probably double the vehicles there, and I think we could add one more set there to increase that to 35. I think that's going to be enough, and it's going to reduce. See, we're losing out on growth in High Wycombe because we have got the station condition at minus 10%. So that is causing a problem. Any other passenger lines? The Chertsey Loop is making us some money. That's still got road. It's got little clippity-cloppity horses on it, with quite a few passengers. 29 there, 30 there on this Chertsey Loop. Not so many there. Not so many there. 66 there, and 2 there. So again, this is a line where I think we could probably. We should definitely replace these vehicles, and we should duplicate them. Now I am tempted to reverse the direction on this line, but it is profitable already. Interesting. I think I am going to reverse it. I like to have 2 loops on there, so we will do that just now. So let's where are we? Let's have a look. The Chertsey Loop. I want to move some of those vehicles onto a new line. So we're going to go in the reverse direction. So we're going to start on 6. Go to 5. Go to 4. Go to 3. Go to 2 and go to 1. And we should be going in the opposite direction. Or is this just a total car crash? So we're going from Grange Road to Main Road to Victoria Road. This all makes sense so far. We have a problem of I don't have the stations on both sides. So I need to turn off one of the overlays because all I can see is bread icons. I don't really understand why. I just can't get rid of the bread icons at the moment. I don't want bread icons. I want passenger platforms, and I need to duplicate those on the opposite sides of the roads to allow for vehicles to go in the opposite direction on the loop. So we're going to just do that now, because at the moment that looks kind of weird that we have that. There's one down here, and is there one there as well that we've not done? Yeah, so that should, if we look at this line 1, it's not quite. We're going from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, and then for some reason we're doubling back, coming along here and going down there, which doesn't make any sense to me. Is that the shortest route, honestly? That seems absolutely bizarre. So we're going from there on the right to there. We're coming down on the right to this one. Then we're going back that way. What's the other line doing? See, that line's going up there, so this line's coming this way, but then going there. It doesn't make any sense, and I don't understand why it's doing it, but Chelsea has grown, so maybe we'll add another stop on here as a number 7 before we go back to number 1. And we'll manage the line, and for whatever reason, add that on to sort that out. We will rename this line to the Chertsey Loop B, and which means we need to replace the name of the Chertsey Loop to Chertsey Loop A and Loop BA. Oh. No, I want to change the name of that one. Yes. Why have I got this one? Show me that one. Right, Chertsey Loop. Yep. Chertsey Loop A. It only makes sense. It makes sense to do that. So we now have 4 vehicles going one direction and 4 vehicles going in the other. Looking at our lines, do we have any other stagecoaches which are making money? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. The Market Bosworth Loop is not doing as well. Now, further to having the little steamer cart driving along, we do also, in the cargo domain, have the option for horse-drawn carriage, which again can go slightly faster. Let me just make this window bigger because I can't actually see that text. So we can go slightly faster for a considerable amount more investment and maintenance costs. We can go a mile an hour faster, about 10%, but we can reduce our emissions and increase our capacity by 25% again. So that one is really good. We can also have these flatbed vehicles, which are European flatbed horse-drawn carriages. Now, I can't really see. I'm looking at this. Is there a benefit to the flatbed one? The covered one has all cargo, and the flatbed one has specific cargo. So I'm thinking that if we do replace, we will go with the horse-drawn carriage because we get the extra speed, we get that, and we have the all cargo. So we're not going to have some silly scenario where we can no longer carry the cargo that was on that line. And that's one of the great things about road vehicles is they have that all cargo option. So unless you're doing something very specific, and we can check that as we go through the lines, we can do that. So we want to lean into our most profitable lines. So Carnforth Refined. Currently we have on here, we have our construction materials, and I can't make this window any bigger. Construction materials. What else have we got? Come on, show me. And oh, there we go, we can scroll. So we've got construction materials, we've got stone, and we've got oil, refined oil, and goods. So manage the vehicles on here. We can click all of those, we can replace them all, and we'll replace them with the topped one. There's just no benefit to doing anything else. This is going to cost me 1.5 million, but this is my most profitable line, so I think this is a well worth the investment. So we get that 25% increase in capacity and a 1 mile an hour increase in our speed. Let's go. So that's going to do that. Let's increase our rate to 86 on that line. So that is significantly better. And let's find a little vehicle because we want to see a bit more about these guys. So they are able to pick up more and they are faster. So, and you know, the thing I love is we still have the two little horses at the front. We still got the driver. We are going marginally faster. I don't really know how these can go a bit faster than the previous wagons. Perhaps there's some advancement in the wheels. I don't know. The horses must surely be the same. Maybe it's better breeding. But they do clippity-clop. And we are heading along this lovely street, which feels actually a bit weird to be out in the sticks like this. And you can see actually how much time they're spending getting around this weird little setup I made to get out of a traffic jam. So we will have to correct that at some point in the future. Have we crossed the 3 million mark? We are now above that 3 million mark consistently in the last few periods. So that is an improvement. That is what we were looking for from this video. And last, I want to go back to what we hoped would make us some money, which was our Carn 4 tools factory over here. We've got our Wolverton West logs coming along. They're bringing that. That is making 49,000 per period as well. That is really nice. We're only producing the 10, which, you know, makes sense because the rate of that line is pretty low. That being said, we're making 49,000 on that line, but this line does contribute as well. And we are making 12,000 on this line. That has a rate of 15. So we are producing at the factory about 25, way under capacity than what we could be doing here. So I think there's scope to lean into this line because it is making profit. So if we look over, we've got quite a lot of vehicles. I mean, the first thing we can do is replace these vehicles, which are in pretty good condition for the covered horse-drawn cars. And that's only going to cost me 209,000 because they are in good condition. And I can do the same for the annex logs and replace those. And they're just doing logs. Should I do open cart just for the hell of it? I'm just, oh, see, I can, oh no, I need to select them all. I don't understand. Why was that so cheap? So I can replace... Oh, it's already a covered horse-drawn carriage. Have I already done that line? Oh, what? No, I'm doing the west logs. I want the... I was getting really confused then. Yeah, these are the ones I want to replace. Right, I can just do logs here. Okay, did I do anything stupid on this one? Did I actually replace those? I was momentarily extremely confused then. So we spent a bit of money increasing those, but that's increased that rate to 14 on that line from 11. And we've gone to 19 there, so it's a bit of an increase, but I think we could do with doubling the numbers on here. Which has set me back. And we could also do with doubling the numbers on here as well. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this. Let's try. I am. So we've increased that rate to 28. We've got 38 on that one, so... Between them, we should be at about 66 logs being delivered, which translates to about 33 there. And again, and that's that 33 is going to mean we should be full on the Wolverton West logs on the return journey. So that is nice. That is what you want to see. And those vehicles are coming along nicely. Loading up with the 5 logs. And off they go. The only thing which obviously is nice about the uncovered ones is you get to see the cargo on the back. So in this case, needlessly giving them logs means I can see what they're carrying, which is, I don't know, it's the little things in the game like this. Right, so we are, that line is doing well. Any line's not doing so well. Chertsey Goods is not doing well. Chertsey is way out in the corner, but it is becoming quite a big town. It's stabled off in its growth. We are delivering a good amount of bread to Chertsey, but pretty much no goods are coming along that line. Chertsey Goods has got a fair amount of vehicles, but not many goods on it coming in this direction. Now, Chertsey demands fuel, it demands goods, it demands machines. So being able to supply machines into our Carn 4th hub would be a bonus. And I don't think we're doing machines anywhere else. I don't think we're doing machines anywhere else. Now, machines, where do we produce machines? Let's go to Chertsey. Let's look at our suppliers. We've got Market Bosworth all the way out there. Ongar all the way out there. We've got Wolverton and Greenlees, which is not as far. And we've got Carnforth, which makes sense because we're so close to the hub here. Now, Carnforth needs steel, which we can get from here. And we've got ore mines nearby, which is nice. We also need planks. Now, with those planks, where could they come from? Now, are we getting any planks into here? Could we start to bring planks into our central hub? Potentially. There's a lot going on at this Carnforth central cargo hub now. We've got a lot going on at the Berkhamsted goods line. We've got a rate at 1. We've got 1 vehicle on it, but there's a lot of material waiting on there. And that line is making 17,000 with 1 vehicle doing all that legwork, but he's making a good amount of money. Okay, now that's interesting because I do think we can lean into this with the amount there. Let's manage these vehicles. Let's replace those with European. We'll increase that rate. Let's try and get this to 10 and see how that looks from there. So yeah, we've got that to 10. That hopefully will clear away this buffer here. Where else is sitting heavily laden? Market Bosworth goods is making a good amount of money. Look at that, 316,000 with vehicles that potentially could do with updating. So we can do that first of all. 672,000. I've got no room for loans left. I have not got the money. Ooh. That's a shame. That is a shame. We can easily increase that capacity. Probably increase the rate to 20. So do we just add more vehicles on? I mean, they're only 6 years old. Look at them. Yeah, I think what we're just going to do is we're just going to add more vehicles to that line. So if I want to, I don't want to duplicate that way. I'm going to go to the nearest depot. I'm going to choose the European horse cart. How many can I afford? I can get 10. 10 seems reasonable, and I can put that onto our Market Bosworth goods line. And off they trot. And I can replace and update those later. We've got the rate to 25. You know, that line is making some good money. Where else is looking heavy at our central hub? Secondary crude is looking heavy. What are we doing with that one? We're taking crude oil from there, bringing it round to this refinery. There's a fair old amount there. Our Carnforth crude is heading straight there. Where is the secondary crude collecting oil from? Oh, my memory's gone. Definitely could do with increasing that. It's not the most profitable line. Maybe we'll hold off on that one at the moment. Our most profitable lines, Market Bosworth goods, is absolutely flying. That is bringing in loads of money. And it's with the old vehicles as well. So the sooner we can get that changed to new vehicles, wow, the better. Because that is bringing in some money. Our High Wycombe oil line, that's an interesting one. We've still got the old vehicles on that. And, you know, we could definitely increase the rate there without increasing the traffic, potentially, by managing those vehicles. So we do have a lot of vehicles on there. I don't think I'm going to be able to afford these, and they are in really bad condition. If I was to select all of them and replace them with new one, that's in the 2.2 million. So again, that's a tough one to do. We don't have the money just yet. Yeah, Carnforth Refined has got it. Market Bosworth goods seems to be the one where we want to do that. So I think that's the last thing we'll do in this episode. We'll upgrade all of those vehicles which are on this line. Now, Market Bosworth goods. The shift select, for whatever reason, is not working for me. So And select them all. We'll choose all those, replace all those, and no, I've selected the wrong ones. No. Oh my wordy. Okay, so we're going to select all of these. Come on. Get in the bag. Right, these are the ones I want to replace. 680,000. Ooh, come on, 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 come on. I'm close. I'm really close. I can do it. Bang. Woo! Okay. Do we have any bad vehicles on there? They're all in very good condition. That is a highly profitable line. It is traveling a long way, which is where it's making the money. There's a lot of stuff coming back from here, including construction materials, goods that are being produced. They are coming a long, long, long way. And they're coming back. Where are the goods coming from in here? Because they're Market Bosworth goods. Okay, Market Bosworth goods is not bringing back the goods. It is bringing back construction materials, stone for some reason, and some fuel. So we could definitely bring some more stone into the fold and make this more profitable. Maybe we are currently not shipping enough, so we could definitely do that. So I'm going to do that, and then you'll see me in the next episode when that is done, and we can continue on this journey of making the absolute best road network this Transport Fever 2 universe has ever seen. See you in the next episode.